But remember, this is not the first time that we've heard of alleged misconduct at the hand of David Copperfield. You might remember back in 2007, a woman named Lacey Carroll accused Copperfield of raping her on his private island. But I want to begin right now with Itay Hod. So I'm so happy to have him here. He's a reporter with KPIX, and in 2019, he broke the Copperfield story while he was a senior reporter with The Wrap. Itay, thank you so much for coming on. I have to ask you, your reaction to this Guardian article, and why do you think it's coming out now, of all times?
Yeah, you know, when we did the story in 2018, we had spoken to this one young woman who said that she was also drugged and raped when she was 17 years old. So this comes as no surprise to people who have followed this case. Why it's coming now, it's because The Guardian has been interviewing all these women for the last 3 years. I think they started this investigation back in 2019, so not long after we published our story. It just takes a long time. These are women who have gone through a lot. I can tell you that it was a difficult thing to bring to publish back then. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of worries of retribution. This is a man who makes a lot of money, is very powerful in the entertainment industry, makes millions and millions of dollars a year and sells billions of dollars of tickets. So it's understandable that some of these women will take some time before they're willing to come forward. I can tell you that the woman who did come forward, when I spoke to her, was hoping that more women would come forward then, but it's a difficult thing to do.
And Itay, just to be clear, nothing came from this? There was no, there were no criminal charges? Were there any kind of lawsuits? What stemmed from these accusations back in the day before the Guardian piece?
Yeah, so in the 2018 case, the statute of limitation had already expired. The woman had filed a complaint with the FBI in 2007. And in these cases, especially when you're talking about underage accusers, they get a year after they file the complaint, and then the statute of limitation closes. So that's why there were no charges brought against him in the 2018 case. In the 2007 case, the case closed with no charges because, again, the FBI gave no reason as to why there were no charges or why nothing happened out of that investigation. I can tell you that when we spoke to experts at the time, and I think even the DA at the time said that in these cases, it usually stems from either not having enough proof to prove those charges beyond a reasonable doubt, or in some cases, it's because of a jurisdictional issue. And in this case, it was in the Bahamas, so that could have played into it, but we don't really know. There was no explanation given, and when we contacted the FBI, they would not comment.
Itay, Brittany Lewis, met David Copperfield 1988. Can you briefly summarize what her account was? Because it's one of the more, one of the more compelling ones, or it's one of the more, I should say, it's kind of hard to believe what happened to her so long ago, and we're talking about it now in 2024 again, but such a compelling account. Can you tell us what Brittany Lewis said?
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because her story is so incredible that I think that played against her as well. People had a hard time believing that anything like this could happen. She was a young model. She was a contestant in Look of the Year, which was a huge modeling competition by Elite Modeling Agency, the biggest modeling agency at the time. He was one of the judges. He took a liking to her, gave her his number, they exchanged information, and when she got back to Utah where she lived, he invited her to a show that he had in California. She didn't remember at the time whether it was in San Diego. She thought it was. She wasn't sure. We checked to see if he had any performances in San Diego at the time when that happened, and there were. So we vetted her story completely. She said essentially that he had to ask her grandmother for permission. She was her caretaker because she was still 17 at the time. The grandmother told us, we spoke to her, she said that at first she was hesitant, but he got on the phone with her and made her feel better about it.
Right.
They went to California, and he got a room. He got 2 rooms for her, one next to each other with a connecting door. She said they went out drinking. Everything was great. She was having a wonderful time. At one point, she said that he had mixed something in her, poured something, his drink or something, her drink. She said she asked him what he was doing. He said he was sharing something, I don't know. But she said that moment she took one sip, and after that, everything kind of went fuzzy. All she has is flashbacks of him peeling off her clothes, and essentially she said she was raped.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.